From Hollywood leading lady to world-renowned photographer, Chenoa Maxwell has transformed a limitless life into a philosophy and thriving transformational private practice. Allow me to introduce a master of transformation and self-love expert, Chenoa Maxwell.
Well, hello, good afternoon. So wonderful to see you ladies here. Today, I'm so excited to talk to you about a subject that's so close to home. But before I get started, I want to ask you guys a question. It's a very simple question, but when I ask it, I want you to really take it in. You don't have to say the answers out loud, but I do want you to be honest with yourself. You ready? The question is, how often do you unconditionally and deeply accept yourself just the way you are? Just the way you are. Right now, today, with every wrinkle, with every curve, with every gray hair, with every scar, where you are today financially, where you are today with love. Do you accept yourself? Do you love yourself? For many of us, that answer is not enough. And for most of us, that answer is never. You see, when we look at love, we define it as this deep affection or this person that we revere. Sometimes it's not even a person, sometimes it's a thing. A purse, a car, a future. But very rarely do we look at love and see ourselves. Very rarely do we look at love and see pure potential energy. Well, today I want to talk to you about love as a power source. I want to talk to you about how love is the most important energy on the planet. And how when you tap into this pure potential energy source, how it can and it will change your life. So love is a superpower. I learned this several years ago at the ripe age of 16. And I've been practicing this method and this philosophy every single day since then. My company is Live Limitlessly, and I am the founder and the CEO. At Live Limitlessly, it is a personal development program where we do private coaching, workshops, online challenges, luxury retreats to help you develop a life you love. I started this company several years ago after my first season on my television show, Love in the City. It was interesting to me because when I was on that television show, it was a docu-series and I was revealing so much of my personal life. At the time, I was going through fertility treatments. I should say failed fertility treatments. I was going through a separation. This is on public TV. I had just moved out of my beautiful home that I worked for many years, and I was contemplating a divorce. Oh, and I was also changing careers. That's quite a lot to do on television, yet alone in life. So I was blown away when I started getting the kind of fan mail that I received from women all across the world wondering how I seamlessly moved out of one situation into another without real pain or challenge. And it was interesting to me because I thought I was really going through like hell. I mean, my life was just, it was a pretty bad time. But what happened was, it made me realize that I had certain tools that a lot of women just didn't have. You see, at 16 years old, I tried to kill myself. Yeah, oh. You did that at 40-something. Well, congratulations for choosing you and for being alive today. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes we're faced with a lot of challenges in our lives, but those challenges are the very opportunity that's the turning point for us. So when I tried to kill myself at 16, it wasn't an attempt to get attention. It was a real attempt to end my life. I was brought up in a home full of abuse and abandonment. I couldn't see any future, and I had nobody being supportive of me. Every single day when I woke up, I was so upset that God gave me another day. I literally cried every single morning. And one day, I just said, you know what, I can't take this anymore, and I tried to end my life. I remember waking up the next morning in a hospital room, all by myself, no parents to support me, just some stranger saying that they were going to take me into a psych ward for the next 30 days. I had become a ward of the state. In California, where I grew up, if you try to harm yourself as a child, the state takes you into their custody, mainly to evaluate you so that they could determine if you are harmful to yourself, crazy, or if they need to take you out of your home. Fortunately for me, I'm not crazy, at least not all the time. But it did enter me into a program which removed me from my environment. Now, really take note of what I'm saying, because when you get removed from your environment, it is really a terrific thing, which I didn't know at the time at 16, but as an adult, I'm learning that there are some times that we're going through trials and tribulations, or we just can't get a moment, and being removed from our environment is a really beautiful thing. So at 16, I got removed from my home, and I ended up getting connected to a psychologist. Her name was Dr. Eleanor Luce. Dr. Eleanor Luce was 6'1". She, if anybody is a little older, she looked like Dr. Seuss. She was really strange looking, but the woman had a heart of gold. And it was the first time in my life that anyone outside of my grandmother had shown me love. And she said to me some really amazing and powerful things. She said, you know what, Chenoa? You are not your environment. You are actually beautiful. You are more powerful than you know. All you have to do is plug into you. Love yourself. Well, at 16, I had no idea what that means. Love yourself. How is that going to change my life? And she started to show me different ways of how I could love myself. And so I started to practice these things. Not really because I trusted her at the time, but because I had no choice. If I didn't practice these things, I would never get out of the hospital, and they would deem me crazy and lock me up forever. So I did. I practiced them day in and day out. I spent 45 days in a psych ward, Herrick Hospital. And when I got out of that psych ward, I was different. I was renewed. I was confident. I had a plan. And more importantly, I had a connection to the universe. You see, what I learned was love especially self-love, goes beyond just saying, hey, I like myself. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good. It goes beyond that. Self-love is an opportunity for you to connect with your higher power each and every day. When you are practicing self-love, you are actually taking the time to listen to the spiritual part of you. See, the one thing that we don't really understand in society, or the one thing that we don't really talk about too often, is that we are more than this human body. Sure, we see this every single day in our lives, so it's easy to forget that we're more than just this. But really, this is just the housing of all the important things that are going on inside of us. Those are our spiritual makeup. Those are the things that are connecting to things that are universal, celestial. And when you learn how to connect your heart with your spirit self, and you learn to listen to the rhythms in between, and you become a power source, life starts to flow. You begin to manifest. Because you know, everything is energy. Everything is energy. The table that you're sitting in, the water bottle that you're drinking, the person next to you, the floor that we're on, the things you can't even imagine, energy. How do you think the world was built? Sure, we have a creator, but what is that? It's an energy. It's an energy that creates through consciousness. And when we plug into our consciousness by the highest frequency of the universe, which is love, we then become part of our creator. We then get into communication with our highest self and our divine power. We then start to understand our purpose and our destiny. When we awaken love inside of ourselves, we not only find more confidence, more clarity, we find more freedom. We are full. We are happy. And we are no longer searching externally for the acceptance, the appreciation, and the approval that we need. I understand right now with technology and society that it's very difficult to shut out the noise. It's very difficult to say, you know what? I believe in me, because we're always looking for outside likes and validation. But the key is to get fully centered and to learn self-love tools for transformation. When you go into modern science, they started to discover that the brain is indeed a powerful connector. So when they say you are your thoughts, you are your thoughts. Your thoughts do create your reality. And that sounds so simple. Self-love sounds so simple. Your thoughts sound so simple. But how many of you on a daily say one negative thing to yourself? And that one negative thing is really, we say about 100. We say about 200. We say about 4,000. We're constantly talking to ourselves in a non-loving way. So what does that say for our spiritual connection? How are we really plugged into our power? We're not. When we're constantly being abusive to ourselves. Reality, science says, your brain is the universe. They did a study looking at the brain cell and looking at the universe. And when they looked at it, they saw that it is almost identical. It is made up almost identical. Meaning that consciousness is not just in the universe, it is right here and right now. And when we really get a hold of our true power, anything is possible. I took myself from a 16-year-old suicidal teenager and I moved myself into a star. Not a celestial one, but a real Hollywood television star. I did that through changing my perception of myself, by stopping those limiting inner critic voices, by really honoring and practice and honing in on my self-love practices, not just once a week, not just when I needed it, but on a daily. You see, if we don't honor and commit to ourselves, we're really not honoring and committing to the power of the universe. I don't know what religions you are. I do not know what you believe in. But let me see a hands of people who believe in a higher power. That's pretty much everybody. Do you think that the higher power just does all the work? Or do you think that there's a connection between your brain and the universe? What we think we become. What we believe happens. So I know that you've heard many people speak and talk about self-love, about this power that it can have. Really, the biggest hurdle is your belief system. Do you believe that you actually have this power within you? Like, really ask yourself, do I believe that I am powerful? Because even if I have one single cell out of the billion cells in my brain cells that is just uniquely like the universe, do I believe that I'm powerful? Yes. Yes. I hear one yes. Do you believe that you are powerful? Yes. So if you believe that you are powerful, why do the limiting thoughts constantly keep occurring? What is going on between here and here? Why are you not where you want to be? Why are you not doing more? Why are you not always happy every single day? It's self-love. And so what does that mean? What is self-love? You know, because when I talk about self-love, again, I don't really just talk about, oh yeah, I go to yoga, I work out. I mean, that's really wonderful that you can do things that keep you physically well and healthy. But if I'm being honest, the biggest thing that keeps you well and healthy is your mindset. So who are you going to be? Who are you going to choose to believe? Me or science? Today I want you guys to really take in all of the things that I'm saying. My name is Chenoa Maxwell. I'm running out of time. I usually have much longer speeches and workshops, but it is important for me to turn up the love inside of every single person today. I know the power of a stranger. I know the power of love. I know exactly what it can do. So please, take the time. I'm here today. Speak to me, talk to me. We can talk more. My company is livelimitlessly.com, and I'm Chenoa Maxwell, and it was my pleasure. Please, awaken love. Thank you.